Welcome to Midnight Grappler Animals, home of Flub Nation. Folks, we are 3 out of 4 into Blind with Justice today. We are rolling through the mud. We're finally coming out this other side of it happy today. I've got Lan with me to talk about Defenders. Certainly one of the shows of all time. Lan, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm really feeling the strain of this series now.
Yeah.
You know, if the watching, what is it, 39 plus 8, that's 47 episodes total. Plus, that's 47 hours of my life that I have to spend.
We're doing Born Again in the middle, right?
Yeah, okay, Born Again, that's a whole other thing.
I know it's new.
Patreon.com/midnightgrappleranimals.
Yes.
That's where you can
truly
listen to pornography.
If you're enjoying these episodes, like, there's hours more. So especially if you decide to back when this episode comes out, you'll only pay $5 for the whole show. So think about it, ponder over it. It's $5 for, like, I think it'll end up being 9 hours more of stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Something like 9 hours. We managed to record just as
episode.
Long.
We had a 2-hour episode about two episodes. So, it is what it is.
I think each episode that we record is longer than the episode that it
just
maps to.
Bit.
So just
it's where the funny lives.
But yeah. 47 hours of this though is really taking a toll on me now.
Yeah. How far into season 3 are you? Just for the record.
About halfway.
Okay. I've been I've just been reading, actually, between Defenders was a slog. I finished Defenders last night, actually, and I haven't even been watching Andor either. Like, I'm not doing anything other.
Yeah, I took a break from
Defenders
TV.
took it out of me. Yeah,
I think I just moved over to film because I've just been neglecting to watch movies.
Yeah,
but we'll get into that during Tastemakers Grab. But
Same,
we gotta deal with this.
We are talking about Defenders. So, Defenders. Really, I think I don't remember how I felt about Defenders, if I was excited or not about it. I don't know if Avengers had set me up to be excited, because Avengers, they actually pulled it off, right? This thing of, like, combining multiple film series into one thing.
Yeah,
building
but this did beat out Infinity War by a year.
Yeah,
so there's that.
Which also, like, this was after Ultron, all right? Yeah, it would have been after Ultron.
Yeah.
So that's the thing too, where it was like, the luster of that sort of thing had already kind of dulled. So I don't actually remember if I, like, the first time I watched it, I approached it, hesitatingly, especially because Iron Fist sucked, and that was the last thing before Defenders.
Oh, you actually watched Iron Fist is the other thing. I didn't.
Oh, no, yeah, I only watched season 1 though. I didn't watch season 2. So
that's funny. I only watched season 2. I didn't watch season 1.
Yeah, no. That's fun. But yeah, so, like, I think the combination of a bunch of things, I honestly don't really even remember what I felt toward it. I know I liked Elektra, so it was like, okay, I know she's the villain. That's cool. But other than that, I don't remember being excited about it. I know I watched it, but I don't remember, like, my feelings around it when it was coming out. And this time around I approached it with dread. I did not want to be here for this. I was envious of Salt, who immediately said no when he said Defenders.
I keep thinking about the fact that, like, when we were planning this out, we were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do 3 seasons of Daredevil, and you know what, since he's in the show, we'll do Defenders too. And Salt's immediate reaction is, I'm not doing that episode.
Yeah,
y'all can have fun without. And you know what? Honestly, blessed be Salt, for he shall inherit this earth.
Yeah.
This is it's funny because this is like, we keep talking about how the hand is like the worst element of the prior 2 Daredevil seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And you can speak to this. Probably the worst thing about Iron Fist 2, aside from all the race stuff, right?
I mean, Iron Fist is also just a bad show. Yeah.
So to have an entire show centered upon the worst parts of Daredevil season 1 and 2, but also have this be the big crossover between their various Netflix Marvel properties, it's a lofty it's a lofty task, like actually making something good out of that.
Yeah.
I don't think they I don't think they succeeded. It's like,
No. It's I immediately the show annoyed me actually, like from the gate, from the introduction of the characters, because it did the MCU thing, where actually like Avengers Iron Man 3 to Age of Ultron is a good illustration of it, where it's like, okay, Tony experienced this insane thing that he couldn't grapple with in Avengers. Not a thing that's covered in Avengers, but it's certainly a thing that happened. Iron Man 3 actually like unpacked that and gave him some space to do stuff with it, right? And then Age of Ultron, it's like it didn't even happen.
it's just thrown out the window. Yeah.
It's just, and it's like a portrayal thing. It's a writing thing. It's a choices made thing. And like this does all of that too, right? Like
I don't know. I think it's like I'll push back already. I think it does that for Matt and Danny, but I don't think it does it for Jessica and Luke here. I think with Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, even though it's been a long time since I've watched both of those shows, like if I'm coming at this as someone who has never seen any other show except for maybe Daredevil in this case, sure. If I'm going into Defenders,
you do kind of need Daredevil.
Yeah. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, you can tell that they've been through some, right? Like the season starts with Luke Cage getting out of jail. It talks about like what had recently happened with Jessica Jones and Purple Man, and I think the show does do a decent enough job in those first couple episodes of showcasing, actually even Matt too, like those three characters have been through some, you don't know exactly what the is, but like they're not coming into this as fresh characters. Iron Fist though, you could tell me that Iron Fist debuted in Defenders and I'd believe you.
Yeah,
like there's nothing about his character in this show that indicates that he had 13 hours of TV already prior to this show.
Yeah, I almost wish, like, as soon as you said that, I was like, that would have been so much cooler. And I wish, like, Avengers wasn't the template that everyone decided to copy, and like more people did use the big crossover to introduce a character, because then it's like, well, now you're grounding everything in that one character. You have exposition stuff to do too, because you need to introduce them and you need to make them matter in the world. And so it's like, that's a really good, easy way to ground an individual story. And like Danny, I don't know, I kind of want to talk about this, like, separate it character wise anyway.
I think that's a good way of approaching it.
Yeah.
Do we want to do Danny first, or do we want to leave worst for last?
Real quick, actually, I think Danny first is fine. But I do want to like react to your pushback a little bit, because like my problem with it is like there's two different versions of the thing I'm talking about with the MCU. One is like total ignorance, and the other is like they advance things in stupid ways, and then sometimes that advancement, like this is more a Civil War, an issue I have in Civil War. So Age of Ultron, they introduced the last thing of the movie is they introduced the new Avengers, right? The new team that it's going to be. And then Civil War, we get one mission with them, and then they don't ever work together again, because by the end of that mission, they've already split up into their factions, right? And like, you don't give any time to live in different things. And so that's my problem with Luke, I think. I don't have an issue with Luke like getting out of prison immediately at the beginning of the season, because that's always going to happen. But it's just such a weird thing. Season 1, Luke goes into prison. Defenders, they just get him out. And then season 2 gets to go from there. And it's like, there's no real way to follow season 1 into season 2 of Luke Cage, because it's just like,
you need to have this happen in between. Well, it's the same thing with Daredevil, right? It's like, you can't go from the end of Daredevil to the start of, you can't go from the end of Daredevil season 2 immediately to the start of season 3.
Yeah.
Because season 3 is contingent on the fact that like,
the end of Defenders
died, happened.
Or he basically died. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Daredevil I have a bigger problem with Daredevil, because it's even more nonsensical, because 2 already sets this thing up of like, and obviously this is before Elektra dies, but it sets up Matt as making the choice to be Daredevil full time. Like the themes of Daredevil season 3 do actually pick up immediately after those final scenes of Daredevil season 2. Actual plot stuff happens in Defenders, but it's stupid. Like, there's not actually a good reason for him to quit being Daredevil besides being sad, right? Like he has so much, he has so much reason to not be Daredevil in the season. I think it's acted well, and I think it's fine, but it's a stupid choice because, especially knowing that season 3 picks up this thread that season 2 set up so well. It's really weird, and I think this goes into the thing of like, do I think there was a better choice, or do I have a problem with the choice the show made? But I'm like, he should have only been Daredevil all of the Defenders. I don't even think they needed a reasoning for him at all, and it's like a waste of space. It's again a dumb character choice because they already set up what they wanted, and it's just weird. I don't know. It's just
I think the other element of it too is that like we've now seen this done better in Born Again, like him giving up the mantle and forcing himself back into it. So I now, like, going back into the Defenders, I had that also on my head, like, okay, I've seen this done better, like, how is this gonna hold up? And it doesn't. It doesn't. So there is that. But like that being said, though, I think there are good Matt Murdock bits.
There's like super good Matt Murdock bits in this. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, let's get into the character stuff. I was kind of thinking of doing Matt last because the whole purpose of this podcast is him, so we might as well put that off. Yeah,
makes sense.
So let's start with Danny.
Actually, let's leave Danny second last. I kind of want to talk about Jessica and Luke first, because they have a pre-established relationship prior to the show as well.
Another weird MCU little hiccup thing, I think.
Yeah, but it's not really touched upon too much. Yeah, it is. It is very much like, oh god, how do I like?
It's almost reminiscent of Matt and Foggy, where it's it feels more real, like it feels lived in. It feels like they took advantage of the TV as a medium, in terms of like it's been a long time. And, like we feel that. And so like it's funny because it's not even Jessica Jones and Luke Cage that are the first characters to cross over. It's Jessica Jones and Misty. Yeah. And I don't know if that's like the move. Like, again, if we're going Avengers brained about this, right? Like when we think about like how these characters from these different movies or these different shows crossover, it doesn't feel very, I don't know, like big, I guess. I think so much of the crossover elements here feel very flat. And I don't mean that in like even necessarily a bad way, but there's no like real reverence given to any of the moments here, right? Like when Jessica and Luke meet up again, there's no like big, oh, these two characters meeting after so long. Well, so long in this case being like 2 years. Yeah. Also, a side note, it's so crazy how fast this like whole era of shows were happening. Yeah. Like this is only like 2 years after the first season of Daredevil came out. Remember when they could produce a season of television a year? Like,
it's crazy.
Isn't that
You're
crazy?
only getting that out of The Bear this time. Like nowadays, it's just The
like
Bear.
One show ever. Yeah.
Abbott Elementary.
Okay.
Like all the NBC shows probably.
Yeah.
So whatever Shamar Moore is starring
Yellowstone.
in, Yellowstone.
Was
okay.
yearly.
It's a lost art. It's a lost art.
It is kind of. It is. Yeah. Lost recipe. It's gone.
Yeah.
Grandma knew.
But going back to Jessica and Luke though, Luke's is funny because he's now the hero of Harlem, right? And he has to grapple with the fact that like that's just his rep now. So like him getting out of jail is like this huge like homecoming moment. Also Foggy's there. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Foggy and Luke are actually the first people.
Weird like muted reveal.
Yeah, it's weird because like it's stuff that was set up prior. Like if you look at the narrative threads, right? Like of
that one makes sense.
Hogarth, Benovitz, and Chow being set up in Daredevil season 2, right? Foggy going to work for them at the end of season 2, like and then him representing Luke. Narratively, it makes sense, but it's also like again, it's played so flatly. Right? Yeah. You never feel like, oh wow, it's these two characters that are interacting for the first time. Like, this feels kind of anti crossover in many ways. Like, it doesn't have the hallmarks of a lot of crossover media.
Yeah, which isn't even like, I don't even think it's a bad thing necessarily.
No, I don't. I don't either.
But it's just weird.
It's weird. That's what it is. Yeah, it's just weird. Because it wasn't the kind of thing that you saw from crossovers 8 years ago. It's also not the kind of stuff you see from crossovers nowadays, right? Like, So that's another thing there. I forgot about the Luke Cage Claire Temple relationship going into this.
Yeah,
so it was really funny going from like that's another element I forgot, is that like aside from Daredevil, every other season loves Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. Did Iron Fist season 1 have sex?
I don't remember. That's not a thing I need to remember at all, and he doesn't deserve it. So
I know season 2 did. Season 2 had a really awkward sex scene.
Yeah. Don't remember.
Oh wait, Daredevil season 2 did have that like really
with Electra.
Boring. Yeah. Slow-mo. Boo. But anyway, that whole relationship that doesn't really go, like, nothing really develops with it, because like the other element of this show is that like it quickly cordons off its characters into like pairings. So you have Misty and Colleen, or Claire and Colleen, Luke and Danny,
for some reason, Matt and Jessica.
Matt and Jessica
Matt and Danny
Luke,
get a little bit. Jessica and Luke.
Kinda. I mean, the issue is with Jessica and Luke, there is a lot that you can do there, especially with what happened in their respective shows. They already know each other. But then that quickly gets sidelined when Danny comes into the picture. So
the Danny and Luke of it all is awful, because they feel so hamstrung. They feel like they have to do it, and it doesn't make any sense. This show also, like, I have beef with Luke Cage. I think the way they did Luke Cage, I'm sad Serg isn't here right now, because I feel like he would be able to be a shooter for it. But I don't remember the show really.
Luke Cage the show is not, or Luke Cage and Luke Cage the show is not Luke Cage in Defenders, is what I'll say. Like, so from my memory of what the show is and like who he is, this feels like them painting with the brush. Like it's like when again in comics, like when a writer
totally
that isn't writing a given character writes that character into a crossover, right? And they're painting with the broad strokes. It's like during what was it, Immortal Hulk's run, right? Like when other oh, what was it? Absolute Carnage, right? Like where he showed up, right? And it was Cates writing an approximation of what he was seeing in Immortal Hulk, right? Like that's what it feels like for Luke Cage in Defenders.
So I mean, I remember some of the like vague stuff of Luke Cage season 1, and like Defenders is kind of jogging that loose, and it feels like Luke's arc in that show was learning to be learning that nonviolence isn't the only answer, like learning to be an actual reliable person within the community and stuff like that, right? And it's very SJW stuff. It's woke SJW, like, and my memory of the show isn't bad either, so I'm not like saying anything like that. Defenders handles all that stuff so poorly, I think. It handles it like a Darman skit. And like Luke is also so boring in Defenders. Like he's the most boring character.
He's the one that's supposed to give out like the Aesops about everything, Yeah, he's the worst part was in what was it, episode 3? Where he's like teaching Danny about his white privilege.
Oh my, yeah, it was the worst. And that was literally the break. Like already I was like, this dude, somehow Luke Cage is the most boring guy on the show. Like somehow just zero interest. And he just broke a table. I mean, it was Dawson. So like, I don't know, take it with a grain of salt. But like, then he sat down with Danny and like called him a billionaire white boy. And it was just like, what are we doing here? What are we? And like, I know I'm internet pilled too. And I'm like, the billionaire discourse is annoying, But it's also just the kind of thing that's like, it's just, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Especially, and I think what's like the most annoying thing about that is Danny putting on a suit and deciding to fight the fist, the hand with money is also really funny. Like, it's a really funny joke that the show doesn't quite realize is a funny joke, but is still funny. That like the Luke Cage stuff seems so dumb in comparison. And I don't think he ever really bounces back. Or just the only points where I like Luke are with Jessica. Like those scenes are great.
Yeah.
But outside
and we don't
of that,
get a lot of that is the issue.
No,
it's like
not
we
enough.
get the opening bits, which are pretty good actually, like them, encountering each other after so long. Also, I think this now is my chance to bring up the lighting. Because the first 2 episodes are directed by, let me see if I can remember this name. Just kidding. It's S.J. Clarkson, who folks at home might not recognize that name. But S.J. Clarkson is the director of Madame Web, amongst a lot of other things that are actually much better than Madame Web.
And Defenders?
But the two better than Defenders. But the 2 episodes that S.J. Clarkson did of Defenders, I think, are the only ones that actually caught my eye, like in terms of like being visually interesting. I think it gets a bit too much at times, but like. I bring this up because each of these characters has a has a respective color associated with them. Matt is obviously red. Luke is yellow. Jessica is blue. And Danny is green.
The most boring green I've ever seen. To be clear,
most boring green.
Just truly like dishwater green. It's horrible.
And it's funny because in the 2 episodes that Clarkson directs, they make a point to color grade every scene that each of these characters in that color. So Matt's scenes are all very red tinted. Jessica's scenes are very blue tinted. Yeah, there's a lot of red stuff. Like you're in a diner that has like red tinted windows, right? Or
coffee cups, whatever. Just like items. It's And
then Luke's got
bananas.
He's got bananas. He's fucking in a room that's got like yellowest room
ever. And I like, my favorite color is actually yellow, but I was just losing my mind at all the yellow things.
Yeah, like that's what I mean when I say they
funny.
go a bit too far with it. But I think it's
still fun though. Yeah.
It's fun, and I think again it's the most visually interesting the show ever gets. Because after those 2 episodes, they just give up on that. Like you get a bit of it here and there, but like more or less they give up on that. But the reason why I'm bringing it up here is they really hit it out the park when you got 2 of the characters interacting with each other, and the lighting there, that's when they're like actually locking in. Because like in the scenes where Luke and Jessica are interacting, it's a very blue scene, but then you have like one yellow light, coming in to break up all the blue. When it's Luke and Danny fighting each other, it's a green scene with, again, yellow lighting. Like there's a lot of points in those first 2 episodes where they actually do a lot of interesting things with the lighting. And then the show just stops doing it. And I
don't even know exactly when, because I know the diner scene, they're still doing it sort of. But
but that's still episode 2. Or no, so that's episode 4.
It's like the midway point. But it's also the diner scene, or the diner episode. It's the whole episode. The actual set is so red that they don't really change from red, and they only change when people leave. So like Jessica left, and there was a lot of blue suddenly. So they didn't. But like I think all the colors are present in the diner. It's just they don't like change the palette around because they can't, because they made a red set.
Like, well, I mean, it's a Chinese restaurant, right?
Yeah,
so it's
that's fair. I know. It's just funny. Funny choice.
Actually, the side characters. We want to talk about the side characters because I want to put off talking about Danny as much as possible, because
I think they went a little crazy with the side characters. I think they were being crazy girls. It was just like, it was fun. I get it, but it also felt like that was their excuse for it not to be a movie, because like there's a movie amount of plot here. And then they're like,
there is,
the more side characters we throw in, that's how we
the
can
more
get
we
to
can
8.
justify this being a TV show.
Yeah, and it's like, cool. I like hanging out with all my friends from all the shows, I guess. But like, they're, I don't know. We could talk about Foggy and Karen specifically, maybe. Like,
yeah, because that's a proper cool like that's a proper follow up to the Daredevil stuff.
Yeah.
Misty, on the other hand, is like reduced to a Zenigata type character. Like her
she's
entire thing is just
her
chasing.
Hand is what. Is
yeah,
what
well,
she's here for.
It's Surf Dracula for Misty's arm.
God. How like really? I think Daredevil, at least Daredevil and Defenders, are like the codifiers of the Surf Dracula, because it's crazy. It's the arm is so stupid.
It's so like convoluted too, right? Because the entire season she's like on the periphery, you know, like she's interrogating the characters, whatever, and then she's gone. She's not a part of Colleen and Claire's whole thing. They could have had a proper, like, you know, what is it?
Daughters of the Dragon plus
Daughters of the Dragon plus Claire, who was also there
for some reason. Yeah.
and yeah, Daughters of the Dragon and their friend Steve.
Yes, perfect.
but they don't do that. It's really weird. Like, they don't do anything with the relationship between again. It's that, like, the expectation from the comics just ends up I don't know, completely falling flat here. Like, there's this expectation that we get Power Man and Iron Fist. There's this expectation that we get the Daughters of the Dragon, you know, but none of that ever really comes to fruition.
Yeah, I think this was another thing actually that I started having beef with Luke Cage, because I think Luke Cage as a show, just it's so critical of like, I mean, I haven't read old Luke Cage comics or anything, but it feels like it's so critical of that sort of stuff, right? Like, it's not a blaxploitation revival TV show, right? It is a black show set in 2016, 2017, Harlem, right?
Yeah.
And like, Iron Fist doesn't interrogate anything about Iron Fist. It just tries to be a bad martial arts show of the 2010s.
Well, it tries to translate those 70s comics without interrogating anything about, like,
at all,
elements, like the racial elements, really.
Yeah, and also, like, it's not a good martial arts thing either. Like, it's and so the flaws on both shows, though, because they can't integrate together in any way. But what nerds want is Luke Cage and Danny Rand, and so it's just the worst, like, expectation and reality that you can have, because, like, the version of Luke Cage from the Luke Cage TV show really doesn't go with any of these characters. It's like if you were trying to cross, like, no, that would work.
What?
It's like,
what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Blackish and Community, but those are both sitcoms, so that would, like, fundamentally work. It's like if you're trying to do, like, Blackish and Law and Order, I guess. Like, I don't. It, like, doesn't. They're not the same genre. They're not the same, like, treatment of the source material. They're maybe even it's like trying to cross over an older superhero movie with, like, 2003 Daredevil. Like,
you mean like what's about to happen next year in Avengers Doomsday? Yes, but stupider. Maybe like Superman Returns in 2003 Daredevil. That might even still be good. I don't know though. These two just don't work. It's a comics thing though, right? Where it's like you have this very unitary vision of a character happening in this one run, but then because of the mechanics of the industry, you know, like, that character also has to show up in other things, and when they do, they have to be filed down to work with those other characters. So, like, if we're going back to the Immortal Hulk example, right? Like, Immortal Hulk in we'll use Absolute Carnage again, is not the Immortal Hulk that we see in Immortal Hulk, the book, right? Like, it's never gonna be compatible or fully compatible with the rest of the universe. Like that.
I think my problem here specifically is that the vast majority of Luke Cage's appearances are with Danny, and so, like, what you've done now is you've created this is kind of a Dave complaint, actually. You've kind of created a whole new character that is Luke Cage, including in season 1 and in Defenders. Like, it's a new character, and that's cool. Like, again, I don't really have beef with the show in what it is. It's that, like, now it's not really like you can't really read a Luke Cage comic and find that at all. Like, they're two distinct
Well, you
versions.
actually can't read a Luke Cage comic because Marvel keeps canceling them.
True.
Before they even come out.
But even the ones that exist, they don't look like they don't look the same. He's not the same character. And that's my other critique of all of this too, is that he is the only one that's forced to be good and boring. And I don't think the show is self-aware of that either. I don't think the show is being like, he has to be a good old boy because he's black and he will get in more trouble than the others. I think the show isn't interested enough in building him up. Is
they set that up too. Like with all the Hero of Harlem stuff in episode 1, you would think that the season would be like him having to deal with the fact that he has to now live up to that. Right? Like that he has to be the voice of reason, that he has to be...
Or he would fail, right? Like he would have to do something evil and mean in people's eyes. Like, either direction is good, but instead he's just boring, and everyone else around him gets to be like rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Even like he has an interaction with Jessica where she's like, well, yeah, that I'm not going to call. And he's like, yeah, you're right. I should have called. And it's like this good moment still, but it's like an also good defining position on the show where Luke is that guy who's always going to be nice to everybody. And he doesn't actually get any consequences from it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's messy in this.
I don't know if he's messy. Like he's just bland.
Yeah, there.
Yeah. Yeah, like Coulter's a great Luke Cage. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a pretty good Luke Cage. It's just that, again, it's just a filed down Luke Cage that they didn't really know what to do with. And with the writers of the show, or the showrunners of the show, Doug Petrie and Marco Ramirez, having primarily worked on Daredevil, you can tell like their experience is going to be with Daredevil. They're not going to really.
But, yeah.
It's the absolute carnage thing again, right? Like, Cates is going to know how to write Venom in that book, but he's not going to know how to write Cyclops or whatever.
I was thinking of the X-Men actually, because people were very annoyed when he was writing them in
King in Black.
Yeah, and whatever. But that's kind of the definitive one of that for me, where it's just like, yeah, okay. Like, they just appear places sometimes because it's a crossover. And it's dumb.
You need to have your mandated X-Men appearance in every crossover.
Yeah. Ooh, crispy. Jessica though is great. Like, I think they just nailed it. She comes away off of Defenders as my favorite of the cast, I think.
I love just how exasperated she is at Matt constantly saying it's complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, her delivery is great. Ritter is just amazing. Like, she bounces off of everyone so well. Like, if you pair her with anybody, including even Misty, who's kind of annoying in the show a lot of the time, she immediately improves everything and like knows how to play it right to where the other person looks good too. Just a fantastic use of an actor who does a great job in general.
Yeah. Like there isn't really much I could say in terms of, sore points with Jessica. Like she knows what her place is in the show. She knows like what she has to do at any given moment.
She doesn't get any development either. She doesn't change at all.
And her plot in here isn't really like terribly interesting either. Like it's the finding the architect thing, and like I didn't give a shit, but like all her character moments were really fun.
And even then, like, it gives an excuse for her and Matt to go and for him to play a piano blindly and find the plans on the piano. Like, it's just fun. Her stuff, the investigation stuff leads to fun plot points all the time anyway.
Yeah.
But like it led to the most fun moments of the show probably too. And like, you always have to have the hero who doesn't want to do it for selfish reasons, like, and that's her. And she like leaves the show in episode 4 and goes does her own thing while everybody else has to learn about the ancient hand bullshit. She goes off on her own little mission, comes back and is like, yeah, no, yeah, you guys need my help. Like, and it's cool. Like it's good.
Yeah.
But she it's very generic, but she ends up shining so
It's
well.
also like a very classic crossover beat, right? Where like one of the characters has to go off on their own for a bit to do their own thing before realizing that, oh yes, they need to come back together. But it works. It works. Like, so much of her side of this show is like perfunctory, I'd say, in many ways. But again, because of Ritter and the way that she plays it, it never feels stale
like
or dry.
I want to skip it. Yeah, I never. at no point am I like, okay, eyes are glazing over, and where's my phone? She's on screen. I'm watching.
Yeah,
I'm going through and highlighting some of my favorite things that I'm going to read at the end. My favorite notes. Because, I get unhinged when I get as bored as Defenders makes me. So.
Yeah, I got some one-offs. Like, we'll get into the bits there. I guess we have to talk about Danny now.
Yeah. You know what? Danny sucks so much.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's
the casting's horrible. I think one of my first where is it? I think it's actually in episode 3. I realized one of my key reasons I hate the portrayal is I really do not like Finn Jones' American accent. I think it's bad. I think it is. I think he has to talk a certain way to create the American accent, and it's bad, and it doesn't sound good at all.
Like, we talked about how much we liked Charlie Cox's accent.
Yeah,
I forget if it was in Pornography or in season 1, but like, it's like if you somehow tried to replicate what Charlie Cox was doing and failed on every conceivable level, like, that's Finn Jones's accent as Danny Rand. He also just doesn't feel like a billionaire, right? Like, he doesn't have that like,
not at all
aura to him.
Which, like, the first season, it's Batman Begins. It's Batman Begins.
Oh, fun.
And like,
that's fun.
I think he's maybe just gotten control of the company again by the end of the season. And that's why they're like running around the world in Defenders. They have money to do that. Like, that's not what's happening in the first season at all. They're not like jet setting, fighting things. It's a stupid season of television. But so I think it's new to him being rich. I mean, being back in like
being fully rich.
America is also weird. Like, new to him. So yeah, it's so stupid though. His whole plot line is stupid.
Like I said before, like, you could tell me that his overarching character arc starts in this show and I'd believe you, because it never feels like he has experienced a whole season of TV prior to this.
Yeah, he
like,
seems
so
like
much
a
of his and so much of his plot, or like his character arc in this show, is him like actually learning to be a hero and having to like learn that from the other characters and be responsible. Yeah,
no, it's especially weird. Like, you point that out, and it really is like so clear, because everyone else is competent, like just a base level competent. Even there's a pretty cool fight scene between all the characters in episode 5 or whatever.
6, the mandatory heroes fight each other scene.
You know what? It's a cool mandatory hero. It's better than the airport scene. Okay, like, it is. It's which isn't a high bar or anything, but like, it's pretty cool. It's fun. The Daredevil versus Iron Fist stuff is pretty, like, it's cool choreography. Matt gets to do some cool flip kicks and stuff like that. But even there, he's being the biggest dumbass I've ever seen in any of these shows, maybe, where it's like, like, just hide for one day. Like, there's not any reason to be fighting this. And like, that goes even more to show how like inexperienced, how much of a novice, how stupid he is, versus everybody else who's just like, if I was in your position, I would just chill. We do not need to go fight people right now. Like, let's wait and see. Six should have killed him.
I think the other issue is I'd be less annoyed by it if it weren't for the fact that his whole deal in this show, and I guess that's also the case in season 1, not so much in season 2, is that like, he's also the spiritual white guy of the show. So like to
Yeah.
have the bit with Luke Cage teaching him about his white privilege, but then at the same time he's also like a spiritual white guy. So then like a bit after that you have him meditating and
Yeah.
I think even like an episode after that he speaks perfect Chinese to that restaurant owner.
He orders for everyone.
He orders for everyone.
The guy was
Yeah.
stunned.
Yeah, it feels so, I don't know, antithetical, I guess, to what they're trying to do with him this season, where they want to build him up as like, oh yes, this is a white guy who's been through some he's been to the mountains. But at the same time they're like, oh yeah, this is also just like a whiny brat who is just now learning to be a hero.
Yeah, no, I think this would have been a lot better if this was his introduction.
Yeah.
Like, just in general, if you skip Iron Fist season 1, that's fine. I don't know that any of the season 1 stuff matters to anything at all.
It's okay when Topher Grace takes it upon himself to edit the entirety of the Netflix Marvel universe into something more coherent. We'll get the condensed version of Iron Fist season 1 that's just like 30 minutes and tack that on to the start of Defenders.
Yeah, shout.
Topher Grace, if you're listening to this, I know you did it with Star Wars, but you can do it with Defenders too.
I hope you heard that.
Hope you heard that. Topher Grace. If you're listening to this podcast and you somehow managed to know Topher Grace, let him know, please. So then that way I don't have to spend 47 hours watching this.
You don't ever. You don't ever. There's
The
no reason.
bottom line here, I think if we're going to, hit that a bit too early, Defenders is not a show that you need to watch.
No. I think I think it actually probably improves season 3 again because of Daredevil. Because it's set up. What happens in season 3 is set up by season 2. People call Defenders Daredevil 2.5, and I get it because there's a lot of plot points and that's an easy thing to focus on. But actually, I don't think it really matters. I don't think anything important happens.
It only matters if you watch season 2 and you thought, wow, I really need to see where this hand stuff goes.
Yeah. But if you're totally fine with that just disappearing and Matt probably mentioning it in
other words, if you're a normal
season 3,
person, if you're a normal person with normal wants
Electra's
and
dead.
needs,
Don't worry about
dead.
it. Like, and that's one of the crazier
post-credit
things about
scene
this, right?
with the cistern. Don't worry about it.
Like, one of the crazy things about this is I liked Elektra even this watch through, right? They don't have a healthy relationship or anything. They're not OTP or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. But like, as an agent of season 2, I'm like, Elektra's cool. Elektra makes cool things happen. I like Elodie Young. I think her and Charlie Cox have good chemistry together, and they act well together. And even the ending bits where Matt is like, I will give up everything and we'll go be whatever international superhero outlaw. Okay, I'm sold on all of that stuff, right? Not that I want to watch that show, but I'm sold on the emotional stakes there. The Elektra Daredevil stuff in this does absolutely nothing for even me. I don't. Part of it is that Elektra spends 7 episodes with amnesia. Part of it is that she's not Elektra.
More
for
like
like
6.
This. Okay, but like she also doesn't really appear with Matt until the last episode, and then it's just a fight for some reason that I don't understand. If you have your memory back, I don't really get what either of your stakes are in this other than like adrenaline, I guess. Like just totally didn't sell the emotional stakes of any of it at the end. I guess like the stakes are her life. She's gonna die if she doesn't get the secret, the magic oil. Okay, I don't care. She's already dead. She already died. He buried her. I don't know. It didn't work at all. Again, even for a season 2 Defender. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
rough
stuff. I didn't like any of the villains in the show, surprisingly enough. Can you believe that?
I guess
I didn't like the hand. Could you believe that I didn't like the hand in this Netflix show?
Minutes, and we haven't even mentioned Sigourney Weaver is is the main
I
villain.
forgot she was in this show. I forgot that she was in the show, and I saw her name in the credits, and I was like, "Oh, that's
It's crazy.
so crazy."
Because like I think in she dies in episode six. Okay,
Which is also crazy. You know,
insane.
if you're gonna do that stuff,
especially
why
because like,
would you do it? You still
she
have 2
clearly
episodes
trained a
after
little.
that.
She clearly trained a little for this stuff. Like she did. She strikes some good poses and hits. Like she's got some solid footwork going. She looks like a person who like could be the Lady Alexander the Great or whatever this was doing. But like in 5 out of her 6 episodes, it's really just like, go girl, give us nothing.
Yeah.
I think just her last episode, episode 6 is the only one where she like is really delivering.
Yeah. Because the entire time before that, it's really just her remarking about how old she is. Like, there's a scene, what is it? Episode 3? Oh, yeah, where she's in that Turkish restaurant, and, you know, the whole bit with, I ate this in Constantinople. And the guy's like, oh, you mean Istanbul? And she's like, nope.
That's not what I'd called it.
That's not what I called it. I'm like, okay, I get it. But also, none of the hand is interesting here. Like, it's not just her, right? Like, there are 5 fingers to this hand.
We have her and Gao, who are both probably supposed to be our anchors. They both suck. I don't care.
They both suck.
Then we have 3 also Rans whose names I didn't put down because they're also Rans.
First one is really funny because we couldn't get Nobu back because Stick beheaded Nobu in season 2. So now we have the guy who's above Nobu, the guy who's been operating in the shadows this entire time, but now is just randomly showing up because Nobu's
like,
not here.
He's like good. He's the good one too. Which
he's like the noble one that like was able
everybody's
to...
like, you're too much of a good boy, and it's like, did Jeff Loeb like not have a hand on the wheel? Did somebody put him in the back seat? And you're saying, I'm sorry, Asians? Is that what we're doing here?
And he speaks in Japanese the whole time. Maybe that's just like them making up for Gao not speaking in Chinese after her bit was up, but like he never speaks anything but Japanese in this show.
So for whatever reason, my Disney Plus, the captions suck. Donkey balls.
Okay. So
yours too.
Okay, so hold on. What?
Because they like don't automatically generate a lot of the time, even if I have it turned on in my TV setting.
It's
Disney Plus will itself forget that it's supposed to be generating captions.
Okay, so episode 4, I have a note that says they didn't bother subtitling or translating the Japanese in the scene between Murakami and Alexandra. So the entire time you're just watching Murakami talk, and if you don't know Japanese, you just don't know what he's saying. Like, you don't know what's happening.
But it's also, sometimes it does work. Sometimes it is subtitled. Mm-hmm. Like not in that scene.
I mean,
in other scenes.
For the majority of the show, I think it is. But that was like I don't even one of a couple scenes that
I don't know, because again, my Disney Plus, maybe it's my TV too, will just forget to put captions up at times. Like I'll have to rewind and then replay a scene, and it'll come back up. So it could be a TV thing, it could be a Disney Plus thing, it could be a Defenders that scene thing. Which like I took a note at some point that I was like, this is kind of a cool choice. Like maybe he's speaking some dialect that doesn't actually exist or something, right? Like,
I mean,
no prizing it in my
that
head,
are blind,
right?
I
Doing
guess,
more work than they did.
Yeah. If you're blind and watching the show, good luck. But other than that, you know.
Well, wait. You mean deaf?
No, blind, because they're not going to be able to read the translated subtitles.
Either, though.
Yeah, but they can still hear. You know, like
but there's the audio description anyway.
You think the audio description is going to translate what Murakami is saying?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
What
do they do? Maybe. What do they do if you're watching a
what?
Do they have a dub? Do they dub just that?
Yeah, I assume, like if you're watching, for
that
instance,
would be a problem with anyone
K-drama,
that didn't have captions, though, right?
No, hold on. I'm pretty sure they're on Disney Plus. There's a K-drama that I'm watching right now that has descriptive audio English dubs.
Yeah.
So it's possible. It's possible, but I don't think Netflix Defenders is going to be the show to do that.
But like for a blind person, this is real getting in the weeds. For a blind person, like watching Daredevil when Gao speaks Chinese, what happens? Blind people.
In those scenes, she also has someone talking for her, right? right?
With her and
Like,
Kingpin?
with her and King. Oh yeah,
There's a
that's
whole
the
conversation
scene.
in Chinese between her and Kingpin. That's
in
captioned. So
Japanese
like if you
too.
yeah. So that's what I mean. Like this isn't just a
I don't know. People for our
people who
are blind
are
and listening to this
visually
podcast.
impaired.
Yes.
Let us know what that looks like. I'm assuming it's audio description where they also translate.
I would hope so. But
That's
anyway, going
interesting.
back to Murakami, he only speaks in Japanese,
Which is
in
cool.
this entire show, which is cool.
The
It
captions
also just
can't
feels
keep
like overcorrection for all the stuff they did with Madame Gao.
For sure.
But you
And
know,
he's cool too. I wish
Yeah.
Nobu was him. Oh, maybe. Because I kind of like the Noble, like they gave him more characterization than Nobu got, which isn't really saying good things about Murakami. But
no, it's not saying good things about Nobu either. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Again, this is a character that showed up for 8 episodes in a random spin-off. Well, not random, but
not that random.
a crossover spin-off.
Spin-off crossover, yeah.
Yeah, I think of the bunch, Murakami is probably the best. So I'm giving him the middle finger because it's the longest finger. So if Alexandra is a thumb, because she sticks out because Sigourney Weaver sticks out like a sore thumb
Yeah.
in context of the rest of the
In that
cast.
group of people, for sure.
She is the thumb.
Okay.
Murakami's the middle finger because it's the most versatile finger,
Okay.
right?
Ring finger is pretty important. Gao's got to be pinky. The one I'm gonna give up. You know.
You think no, hold on. Okay, my take is Murakami's the middle finger. Gao
Okay.
is the ring finger because they've committed so hard to Gao that they now have to go through with her. So she's the ring finger,
That's a good metaphor.
right?
All right.
And the index finger is Bakuto because there's no point to him being in here.
Okay.
And then Sawande is the pinky finger because they cut his ass off so quick. He's gone like so quick. And so that's why the shortest span in the show, he's the first one to go.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about the race stuff in regards to Asians in this universe, but like, it's so crazy that the black villain is the first one to die. You know, like, what were they doing there?
Yeah. I mean,
He's gone by episode 5, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Beheaded.
Beheaded by
Shout
Stick.
Stick.
Oh, Stick. Oh,
That
Stick.
dude's got a streak. Stick
He just
you know
loves
what?
beheading people, you know?
Stick is the Coulson. Stick is the Coulson of the Defenders universe. I'll say definitively. I know a lot of characters cross over a lot. Stick's
don't
the
know,
Coulson though.
But I like Coulson, though, is the issue.
Oh, you don't like Coulson at all?
No, I like Coulson
Oh,
is the
okay.
issue.
You don't
is
like
what I'm saying.
Stick?
Okay, you know, in season 1, he was there for a perfect amount of time. In season 2, he started to overstay his welcome. Granted, Scott Glenn is great as Stick. Scott Glenn's a great actor. He plays Stick very well. By Defenders, he'd
already been used enough. He'd already the juice was gone. Like
the juice was wrung completely dry, and he's just doing for the sake of doing in this show.
Yeah.
You know, he shows up, he gets caught, he cuts off his hand, and then
Which
he's
is
there
sick.
to exposit some stuff. And
Yeah.
then
try to kill Danny and then get
he
killed
tried
by
to kill Danny,
Elektra.
but before he tries to kill Danny, he tries to bond with Luke over going to jail, which I thought was
Which is
such a
pretty cool.
weird.
Again, he's a down ass white boy. So
he is, but I thought he was down ass white boy with Asians, you know, like
you know what? He's got a whole litany of
it's just really
interest.
funny to be like I spent a lot of time studying and training with the Asians, but I was also in jail for 10 years, and that's when I got to be really down with all the ethnics.
That's classic comics too, though. You know, like he had.
But
I
I feel like that's
past.
stuff that you should be interrogating. You know, as a show coming out in 2017, that's a bit that's perfect for a 1970s comic. But if you're doing that, you should probably be interrogating why you're doing that. And then he tries to kill Danny for some reason.
For some reason, I don't. So they don't have the Iron Fist, so it doesn't exist for them to use it. It's. I still hate Danny's like I'm not gonna hide. We should go. I think that's worse. but Sticks, we need to kill him is so
Honestly,
silly
it's kind
that
of
it's
funny.
funny.
When you say it like that.
Yeah,
it's like funny.
it's like a two panel little meme webcomic, you know, like, oh, actually it is like, we got to kill this guy, Luke.
Yeah, damn. it's literally, hey,
Yeah.
Luke, we got to kill this guy, and Luke going, damn.
Damn. Yeah, falling asleep. That's what it is. That is what it is. Not really a good reason to kill him, but also, like, do you need a good reason to kill Finn Jones's Iron Fist? I don't think so, personally. I think Stick was in the right, and then his daughter killed him, which is
he got beheaded too, right?
No, he got stabbed in the heart.
Just stabbed in the heart? Oh.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is like, there is a possibility to bring him back.
It's gonna
bring
be
back
Stick
80-something-year-old Scott Glenn.
Stick and Foggy are coming back in the same swing. Everybody go check out Hornography.
If you want more crackpot theories from some absolutely zooted brains, Hornography. Patreon.com/Midnight Grappler Animals.
Patreon.com/Midnight Grappler Animals.
Yeah. Oh, Bakuto. Yeah, he is the index finger, the guy who has no point, because he shows up. He was in Iron Fist season 1, I presume.
Yeah, I can't remember him, but he was.
But again, as someone who hasn't seen Iron Fist season 1, he's not a compelling villain.
No,
his whole thing here is like he's linked not to Danny but to Colleen,
and I think that's all. I mean, Finn Jones. They should have the first episode of Iron Fist. Finn Jones. And this isn't actually what happens in the TV show. I'm creating a new show. Finn Jones punches into the dragon's heart. He pulls it out. It's glowing. And then Colleen Wing comes in with a steel chair, knocks him out, shoves her hand into his heart. Finn Jones dies. She's the Iron Fist. That's what the show should have been. But like, Defenders doesn't create enough space. It's so weird because it keeps adding these characters, and it is genuinely a much larger cast than just the 4. Yeah. But like, none of the tertiary characters actually have space to do anything except Misty. Misty has an arc. It's stupid. I mean, she goes from being I'm a cop doing stuff to like, I'm not going to be a cop anymore. I lost my hand. Like, it's obviously setting up that shift.
Like I said before, she's just a Zenigata, right? Like, she's just chasing after the heroes while they manage to escape her purview every single time. And then she gets her arm cut off.
If anybody got a 5th color, I think it would have been Misty to set it apart from the other 4, because she's like doing a different thing than them. And I get it. Again,
I don't know if it would be Misty or Colleen, because I feel like they really wanted to build on Colleen with all the Bakuto stuff.
And I think that's ultimately what I'm saying right now too. It should have been Colleen. Like, Colleen should have had her own stakes, but because it's the Iron Fist and Colleen show, it's like, okay, both y'all are green and both y'all are doing the same stuff. Especially, I mean, Jessica Henwick, fantastic. Should be in more stuff. She's good as Colleen. Just they gave us nothing for her. Even though I think the show is kind of begging for it. Like, it would like to do something with her. Yeah. They just couldn't actually justify it or figure out how to make that work.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Elektra, right? Elektra's the other big element, and I don't know. It's cool by the time you get to this, she does get some good fight scenes. By the time you get to the 7th episode, you kind of forget like what the motivation for any of the villains are. Yeah. Because it just ends up becoming about the substance, and everyone's like, we need to get the substance. And Elektra's like, I need the substance. And then they're like, Iron Fist, he has the substance. And I don't really know. What is the key substance? To the substance.
He opens the door to the substance.
The substance, and the substance will, Pompeii, we did that. Chernobyl, we did that. Once we get the substance, we're going to do that to New York.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that stuff is also stupid because it's like, we have these ancient characters, right? This like order of ancient people who are talking about all these past things. And I'm like, yes, I'd rather be learning about that. I'd rather.
The worst part is the fact that the hand has this like rich history with the people of Kunlun, and we don't really see that. Well, because they don't have the budget to show any of that, right? Yeah. We just don't have the budget for Kunlun anymore. But the fact that they never really play into that, right? Like that was my issue with like Sawande, especially, is like you barely get anything out of him before he's gone. Like you get the bits with you know, the Luke Cage bits were with that one kid who ends up getting killed,
Yeah.
right? But then after that, Sawande is just like the guy that they need to torture information out of. Which also, just going back to that, we touched on it a bit in the season 2 episode, but they're so chill with torture. They just, you know, it's so crazy how lax they are when it comes to torture. You know, Matt literally like chokes him out with his billy club, and everyone's just standing there like, oh yeah, okay, well, that's nice.
Yeah, I think again, like Luke, especially as a character, that's surprising because he is a good boy. And you know what though? He was in the military, so
he was a
cool
cop. Can't forget, he was a cop at one point.
Maybe he's cool with torture. Maybe he's fine with that
in this show. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it for the characters. Are there any characters that we're forgetting in the show? Oh, Foggy and Karen, which I guess is more linked to the Matt section. So I guess we might as well talk about the Daredevil of it all now, right?
Yeah. I basically already said my opinion on it, and I think it's a very stupid detour that didn't need to happen. And I think it's funny because I think they overcomplicated it. A far more compelling thing to do would have just been Matt is always in the Daredevil suit and it's kind of stinky. Like, I think that is so much better than somehow he carved out the time between seasons 2 and 3, which we don't really know how much time, but to like be a lawyer again, like be practicing law.
Yeah, he's
law.
A pro bono lawyer.
Yeah, and like doing work. Even people are like, we haven't seen Daredevil for some time. Like, so there's this whole point in his life where he's grieving Elektra and refusing to be Daredevil. I do think Born Again makes this funnier because then it's like, you are like, he's pathological. He can't, he can't be happy no matter what. He can't stop being Daredevil. He can't keep being Daredevil. There's zero balance. He can't figure out how to make it fit. And I think that's cool. Born Again did retroactively make this a little better, but it's still just like a pointless detour. Everybody, including myself, who's called this Daredevil 2.5 for years, is just truly didn't give this show the 3 seconds of thought that it didn't deserve, and like just let it rot in their brain and their heart until they accepted that this is fine. So dumb. It really is bad. Like, doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a bunch of good character bits between Matt, Foggy, and Karen. Yes. But
Matt and Foggy especially, I think, is cool.
Matt and Foggy especially. But like, again, I keep finding myself wondering, like, was it worth it? Like, was it worth sitting through this 8-hour show for those bits? Yeah.
No, I don't know. The Foggy bit of him getting the suit is really, really, really good.
Oh yeah, I love how he says, "I got you. I got you." Was a change of clothes. Oh, got your. I
thought he said a suit, but
I thought it was a change of clothes. Hold on,
he might have said change of clothes. Yeah, I might have taken the note.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention Trish and Jessica Jones's supporting cast. They're here.
They are here.
They're here. Yep. I made a note in episode 7 that it's crazy that it took that long for Trish and Karen, the 2 journalists of the show, to interact. Yeah.
Literally like the last stuff that happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
like there's so many characters here
Trish
where
is a
I'm
podcaster.
Like, yeah, but she's, she does investigative work and then before becoming a psychopath, right? Yeah, they're here, but Karen and Matt, I think I think this show didn't need to happen because I think where we pick back up in season 3 is a much better follow-up to the end of season 2 than everything that happens here with Karen and Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to get to season 3. I think I'm ready for it. I cleansed the palate a little bit last night, and I won't have time today anyway, so tomorrow I'll jump into season 3. And I kind of do want to think about it in terms of like, okay, what if this was right after season 2? What if this was right after Defenders? Partly because like I don't remember. I already forgot a lot of the stuff in Defenders. So like I don't think I really need to worry about it really affecting things in my mind.
Yeah. Anything else? Do you have any like random one-off notes from any of the episodes?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of scanning to see if there are any more funny ones. I have a few though. A couple dumb things I thought were dumb about the last episode, I guess. This was, maybe it's cool to have people so old they can't be true believers, but I also don't get the point of the mystical prophecy for the most part either. Like, why do both of those things? Even if you're just going to have, it's also the thing of like, we have eight hours with these characters, the leaders of the hand. Why are you introducing like politicking here? I don't care about it. The stakes don't matter. All of these people are going to die. That's what this show's about. Like, didn't have time to do any of that stuff. And then also that like last fight with the hand. One of my favorite things about season 2 is that the hand feel like villains that you have to kill, that like Daredevil's gonna have to kill in order to like make it. You know, he can't be pulling his punches. He has to fight these guys and like kill them. And he's not, obviously, but it's like those are the stakes. That's what it feels like, right?
Yeah.
And like that final battle is literally just Jessica throws a punch and 5 guys go flying and Luke Cage throws a guy at a wall. Like it's especially and I know they have superpowers or whatever, but like they were getting their asses kicked earlier in the season, and again this season doesn't take place across that long of a span, and suddenly they're like fine at beating their asses. It's just kind of dumb. And I know it's the reverse ninja quotient or whatever, but still dumb. The hand was actually better in season 2 of Daredevil, and that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, not that it was a high bar.
No,
but,
no.
You know, I have a note in episode 4 because there's a bit where Matt visits the family of the architect, and he plays the Daredevil theme on the piano.
Yeah. It's pretty dumb. But
what are we doing? What are we doing?
It was in the middle of a good scene, so I was like, okay, like all right.
By episode 7, I already got tired of the substance because my first note for that episode is substance this, substance that, off.
Oh, okay. Wait, I think 6 was actually the point. Yeah, on 5, I actually fell asleep in like the last 5 minutes of episode 5.
Oh, 5 is the episode that I have the least amount of notes for because I just like so much of that episode is just vapid to me.
And then see episode 6, I started and I put, this is a chores show, like a show that you do while you're doing chores.
Yeah. Just like how there's podcast games that are just like mindless stuff that you play while listening to a podcast. Yeah. It's just stuff. Like this is an 8 episode stuff show.
Yeah.
Let's see. Matt being the only one in a costume is funny.
It's so funny. It really is.
Everyone else has like a very basic ass.
It's just an outfit. The camera pans out and Daredevil's, and they knew they were being funny for once. Actually, in the show, they knew that was a funny gag, and I laughed. It's really funny. And I also was thinking like that's. I feel like Daredevil doesn't fit in with a lot of street level heroes for that reason too, and Spider-Man too for that reason. And it's why you like end up lumping Spider-Man, Daredevil, and like Punisher together. Because they're insane freaks. But no, it was really that's a good visual gag. Actually, I like that one.
Yeah. Madame Gao suddenly has mystic powers. Was this something in Iron Fist that I missed?
It's so stupid.
Was it something in?
I think she uses it in Daredevil also.
She doesn't use it in Daredevil.
She does. She does a weird thing. She has like a super punch. She sends Matt flying in season 1 when he finds the blind people.
Oh right, but that was just the one time.
No,
that's
but
just
it's
a
like,
punch.
But it's a super punch. He flies across the room, and she's like 150 years old.
But now she has the force.
She has the force,
right?
Yeah,
like
it's so
a super punch, sure, whatever, you know. But the force is the force, man.
She literally
is the force.
She's pushing concrete blocks around with her mind. It's really stupid. Ugh. Okay, I put Misty Knight with the big cans. That was
in episode 8, I put, damn, Claire, ever heard of vibrate mode? because
It's like flashing. And like, yeah.
it's like the most like telegraphed phone call.
There's
and
a switch on the side of your phone, Claire.
Well,
you
know,
can
they
program
had
it to do many things.
This, back in 2017, they didn't have that, but they did have the silent mode switch on most phones. There's a whole physical button or like a switch on your phone that allows you to turn it silent.
Yep. I wish Danny was in Kobe's helicopter.
Okay. Yeah. There's a whole arc here with Bakuto and Colleen that I don't really care for.
Yeah. It's really just a mini boss for her.
Yeah. Mr. Save-A-Ho, Matt Murdock staying behind.
Let's go. Matt stimming on the chaos was one of mine for episode 2 when after the earthquake.
Yeah. So one of the characters says, "This is what we get for thinking we can make it work." And I said, "Oh, they're talking about Netflix Marvel."
I do really like Elektra's swords splitting. So like it's one sword that she's just fighting with one sword and then she just like breaks it in half. I had a wooden version of that kind of sword and I loved it for a long time until it like broke.
And then there is the bit at the end which I thought was interesting in the context of Daredevil Born Again, where it's like, oh, Foggy at least got to, because Matt gets to grieve Foggy. Spoilers, by the way, for Born Again, but Foggy also gets to grieve Matt, which I thought was an interesting bit. But then season 3 happens, and I kind of have to rescind that note. So
yeah,
but yeah,
that is a good point. Yeah, that's down.
Yeah.
Elektra looks like an Organization 13 member.
Alextra.
So stupid. Calexta. No, there's an R missing.
Let me throw this into
just
an
throw
anagram
it in,
machine.
I also Matt has a thing for showing up in his costume suddenly. I watched episode 5 after the new Born Again. So Matt has a thing for showing up in his costume suddenly. Not a show that loves the suit up scene. Which like season 1 also there's a fun rotating shot of him on top of a roof, and that's it. The first time he wears it. Yeah. So it really is like he just puts that thing on.
Maybe he just got a quick, they say there's a saying in boxing, the cure for a black eye is fast hands.
Fast hands.
Think about it.
It's the best.
Anyway, if you put X into Elektra's name and then you anagram it, you get X-Alter.
Okay.
So maybe that's her Organization 13 name. Exalter.
That's really cool. I put Misty as annoying because cops are annoying.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Quit my job. Claire, you got fired. Be for real. Like, you didn't quit. I watched that episode.
Oh, episode 4. You can't do that. You'd be putting the cops in danger. Come on, Luke.
Yeah, true. Oh, Jessica stealing a beer from an unconscious homeless man is so funny.
Yeah.
It's baby. It's so good. Oh, Jessica really is a go to this show though.
The office fight from episode 3, I actually liked it. Especially because cool. of the needle drop. They got the Run the Jewels needle drop in there, which it's another element of this show is like you have Luke Cage. Mm-hmm. The show Luke Cage, there's a lot of good needle drops in there, and it's a lot of there's a lot of focus on music in that show, and you only get bits and pieces of it here.
I think it's only 2. I think it only happens 2 times
in here. Yeah, I think it happens
in Defenders,
and it happens in his initial scenes.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
right,
you're right. But
and
then
it's
like
it happens in this fight, and then it never happens again.
Fight. There's the final fight too at the end in the finale.
Oh right, yeah. That's right.
But no, so 3 times, and which is weird. It should have happened more. Oh,
they filed him down. That's what it is. Dude, they filed him down.
Unbreakable Man. You could shave off a couple pounds, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's it for my random.
I think
notes.
that's it for my fun notes too.
Yeah. So this was a show that didn't need to happen. Even though if you look at the production, this was one of the earliest things to enter production of this entire I guess micro universe, we'll say. Project's a good one, because initially it was supposed to be 1 season of each show, So one season of Daredevil, one season of Luke Cage, one season of Jessica Jones, one season of Iron Fist, and then Defenders, and it was just supposed to end there. But then Daredevil got really popular, Jessica Jones got really popular, so both of those got a second season. And then because I guess by that point they had found momentum that they didn't know what to do with, everything after this point really, it like, if we're talking about a turning point for Netflix Marvel as a whole, right? I think Daredevil is like the nexus point for like everything going downhill except for Daredevil. Because I feel like everything after this is never gonna hit the heights of any of those shows prior, except Iron Fist, whose bar was so low that it doesn't matter. Anything that they could have done with Iron Fist from that point onwards would have been an improvement, and it was. And then Daredevil, you know, which is season 3, arguably the best season of any of the Netflix shows. But yeah, like it really feels like Defenders was meant to be the logical endpoint for a lot of these characters and their arcs. But then they were also, they had success dropped into their lap that they didn't know what to do with.
Yeah. It's also, I mean, like, you know, we saw the MCU have success by picking Iron Man and the characters that they had the rights to and turning something into that. But the thing about Iron Man is that there's still like 1,000 comics he's been in. How many comics has Jessica Jones been in? I mean, counting Defenders and Avengers, like
probably over 100.
Over 100 for sure.
Yeah.
So like that's still not that many though, especially when the first season adapted how much of Alias?
Not a lot, just the one arc.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like even still, like Daredevil understood how to branch off from the comics too. It knew how to build on its own mythology that it was building up. And I don't know that Jessica Jones didn't really know how to do that. Luke Cage, I can't remember season 2 at all. Not a single thing that happens. So
it's really more of season 1, but then you're left with, you know, some of the worst elements of season 1. But you're also,
because they killed off the best elements.
Yeah. They killed off Mahershala Ali, so it's tough. But
Luke Cage has that problem of having not very many comics either. Especially again, like cut out all the Avengers stuff. Jessica cut out all of his.
I mean, like you mentioned before that, like
too.
Luke Cage in the show is not Luke Cage in the comics, right? It's still,
which is why like you have to have that skill of building on your own mythology at a certain point, and I think all of these shows struggled with that.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like it really feels like they didn't really know what to do with a bunch of these characters from here on out, except for the one character that they knew, you know, could have an arc. And I think with Iron Fist especially, it was a sunken cost by that point, right? So
Finn Jones sucks.
Finn Jones did a bad job. What has Finn Jones been in recently?
I don't know. Hopefully he did better than in this.
Finn Jones. Let me look this up right now. Finn Jones, English actor. He's been in some stuff. He has been in some stuff. It's crazy. He was in Game of Thrones. And since then, since Defenders, he has been in one episode of Luke Cage, a recurring role in Dickinson, which I completely forgot about, a lead role in a show called Swimming with Sharks, which lasted for 6 episodes.
Shouts.
A movie called Awake, which stars Gina Rodriguez, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Finn Jones. Is it about? I see. It's the plot to this movie is crazy. Rodriguez plays Jill, who discovers her daughter may be immune to a disorder causing mass chronic sleep deprivation and attempts to bring her daughter to a laboratory to help develop a cure. So this is Last of Us, but for sleepiness. And then he played Charles Lindbergh in a movie called Canyon del Muerto. And then The Visitor was his last movie, and that was in 2022. So he hasn't been in anything since 2022.
Okay. A little break. A little fiesta.
Sure, yeah. Did you know that his birth name is actually Terrence Jones?
Okay.
Yeah, and apparently he changed it to avoid confusion with Terry Jones, the member of Monty Python.
Yeah. Gotta be a common confusion.
Yeah, when I meet a guy named Terrence, when I meet a guy named Terrence Jones, my immediate thought is this the guy from Monty Python?
It could be. Hmm.
You never know.
He doesn't seem that young.
Yeah.
Could be true.
If you're face blind. If you're face blind, like our co-hosts apparently were last episode of Blind with Justice, when they confused.
Being polite. I was just being polite.
You were being.
I didn't know.
I don't know why I entertained Salt's.
You didn't do anything either.
I didn't, and that's why I'm saying I entertained it, because I was like, I don't remember Keith David. Maybe there was just something that I missed in season 2.
What's the other guy's name? The one I said he looked more like.
Who?
He's the lawyer in Twilight Breaking Dawn.
The lawyer in Twilight Breaking Dawn.
Yes, Wendell Pierce. I see.
Wendell Pierce. Okay, yeah.
Wendell Pierce is the actor I thought it was more like. But I can't. I'm bad with names, and I'm like, I can remember names and I know faces, but I will like mix up the name that goes with the person. If I meet people too close together, I'll like mix up names, even if they don't look similar. I don't think it's face blind. It's just weird brain association stuff.
But yeah, Danny Johnson is the person that Salt thought was. Yeah, he's the actor.
Was Keith David? Definitely not Keith David.
In Salt's eyes.
The voice definitely also did some work there, because he didn't.
I don't know.
He didn't have.
I don't think so.
It wasn't as Keith David, but it was like, that's the kind of voice that makes my ear perk up, and so I could see that association.
He's got a distinct voice, yes, but he's not got Keith David's voice. Keith David has the voice.
It's one, and it's Keith David. Yeah,
it's the Keith David voice.
It was a whole thing. We should have made fun of him. We should have made fun of him live. We just need to get better about learning how to do that. Like,
yeah, maybe I should start questioning when you guys say bullshit like that.
That's exactly. We're too polite.
We're too polite. In this show, we're too polite, and we say too many truths.
Yeah, we're going to work on being less polite and lying more.
Yes.
It's 2025.
2025. We really need to start committing to the year of the lie.
We lying this year.
We really lying this year. But you know what we're not lying about?
This episode being over.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank God you caught that.
Thanks for listening to this point. We appreciate it. If you're listening to this and you enjoyed it, I highly recommend Pornography on our Patreon right now. We have put 3 episodes out so far, plus the 0. Fifth, actually, by the time this is out, I think the 6th episode should be done. Maybe. I don't know. Time is fake. Anyway, if you do choose to back us via Patreon, $5, you'll get the whole show for the $5 if you do it at this point that you're hearing my voice. If you do it before you're hearing my voice, it's not going to work right. It's not going to work out for you. Okay. But if you do it after you're hearing my voice, it'll work out for you. I think the timing works out. So do it.
Sure. Yeah.
I think we're also, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a weekly and/or one as well that will start right after Pornography. So you'll also get at least a couple episodes of that, I think. So, it's $5. It's $5. And it's a lot more of us talking about Daredevil, and it's fun. We've had a couple of fun guests. Lan abandoned me on one episode, but Salt hasn't. Salt's been there. Salt's been having fun. So
I abandoned for the sake of not overcrowding the podcast, because you never want to overcrowd a podcast.
That's one of the lies Lan tells himself. Anyway, Midnight Grappler Animals. Patreon.com/Midnight Grappler Animals. There's a bunch of other bonus stuff too. One day we'll have 3 episodes of the comic draft.
One day we'll have 2 episodes even.
One day we'll have 2. One day there will be more than 1. Someday. A bunch of other stuff though, like genuinely, I did a whole show last year on the Acolyte that is probably very dated, because a bunch of us are like, wow, well, we'll see what happens with season 2.
Yeah,
but still, fun stuff. A lot of fun to be had on the Patreon. If You can't back us monetarily. That's also cool. Please leave us a good review, a 5-star review. Please leave us a 5-star review. You can say whatever you want in the paragraph. That's fine. Please leave us a 5-star review. I started listening to A More Civilized Age again this week, kind of catching up, and they talk about a review that they got a 1-star review where somebody is like, "This is a great show. They're a little black-pilled on the Jedi," and I'm like, "That's the opposite of what I want you to do. Don't give us a 1-star and say nice things. Give us a 5-star and tell us mean things."
Yeah, be mean to us, but be mean to us on a 5-star review.
On a 5-star. That's the cost. We've talked about this in the past. I want to do like Q&A episodes if we can get cues. So send us questions. You can email us questions at midnightgrapplinganimals@gmail.com. Or you can honestly just like add us on Bluesky at the Midnight Grappler Animals, or even me individually. You can, whatever, if you're following us anywhere, ask us questions. It'd be fun for us to do that as a bonus episode every month too. So definitely send some questions our way, whatever way you can, or in the Discord. Join our Discord. It's fun.
Yeah.
We talk fun shit there. And if you do back us on Patreon, you also get access to a special channel.
That's true.
Yeah. So other than that,
if you've subbed to our Patreon and you don't have access to the special channel, let us know, because you're missing out. No, what are you doing? Get in there.
Especially because, you could be telling us how awful the show is. Yeah. Like a week early. You could be like, "Hey man, that was stupid.
Or multiple weeks early if I neglect to post to the main feed.
Also true. Mean, the Patreon feed has been very well updated, I'll say.
Yeah, the Patreon feed, you're getting it week of. It might be a day late sometimes, but it's week of. The main feed, it happens. The main deterrent right now is I still haven't come up with a cover photo for the Blind with Justice episode. So that's like the main deterrent right now for me posting episode 114. So who knows when this episode comes out? Who knows? On the public feed at least, but on the
if you back us, you get it like clockwork, and you get to it's uncensored. So
exactly,
absolutely worth doing. Tastemaker's grab bag. What you got, boy?
Oh crap. Yeah. So I mentioned that I was cleansing my palate, as it were, by watching some stuff, and I watched the classic Mo Leitao comedy movie, Love on Delivery, from Lilik Chi and Stephen Chow. It's a fantastic movie. It's such a fun romp. It's really fun. And I think the only way you can get it legally right now is if you buy it from Vinegar Syndrome, which has like a really fantastic slipcase edition of it. Well worth the price, well worth getting. So add Love on Delivery to your watch list, your backlog, if you want to call it that. Right now I am close to finishing Shantae Risky's Revenge, which is a remaster of a DSi game that was clearly meant to be a Game Boy Advance game. So what that means is it's got some very beautiful pixel art and absolute dog water UI and no real like changes or significant changes to make it worth having the director's cut subtitle added to it. That being said, though, I'm having a lot of fun with the game. It's a lot of tight platforming. It's in some ways it is like baby's first Metroidvania. But it's fun. It's good. It just has a really ugly UI. And I just wish that, maybe they could have taken just a little bit more time just to rework that UI to not make it look dog water. I don't know why I'm saying this as though anyone from Way Forward is like listening to this podcast and is like, "Oh yes, maybe we should put out an update." But I'm just saying,
you could add them.
You could
add them.
But yeah, that's it for Tastemaker's grab bag this week for me.
Very fun, very weird, very cool. I have a few. One I actually forgot to mention on a previous episode. I think I read it last week before we recorded, and it's Grip of the Combinat. I got this with all the other Grobus First stuff. And I ordered all the Grobus wrote his first stuff in production order. So like open to the page with the page where it said when it was printed, everything like that, put them in order. So I was like, okay, this is like an earlier one. It's after Habitat. It's after First Knife. And then like I read it and I was like, this isn't even the same. This isn't the same universe at all. But it's amazing. It's so good. There's some robots in here that they're like pro work slaves, and it's like if Mark Russell, if I liked Mark Russell still, I feel like this is what I would read. But it's better. Like it's and maybe it's just like the tone is very different. It's extremely funny, and it's just like full of incredible artists too. Simon Roy and Damon Gentry wrote it. Gentry sounds more right for a last name. And a ton of great artists. Toshev obviously is in here. Trakanov is in here. Emmons is in here. A bunch of people. A ton of great artists, and it's just super funny. Very good book. Definitely recommend getting it. And I think that one's through Image too. So he didn't like that one.
It did get kickstarted, and I got the Kickstarter edition of it, but then it did get released from Image version 3 months later.
It's super good. Definitely highly recommend checking that out. I had a lot of fun with it. I watched Anora finally.
Wow. Okay.
Like what a movie. It's funny because like I watched Mickey 17 when it came out, and I was like, man, I kind of wish it like divided itself the same way Parasite did more, where it's like, okay, this part, this entertaining like first part of the movie that's good, and I like it's doing cool things, and then everything just goes insane after that. And Anora does it really like incredibly well. It is like two different movies, and I mean, I stayed up super late to watch it too, and I at no point I never felt like drowsy. I was like, I was locked in. Great, very good movie.
You stayed up super late because you couldn't let your wife catch you.
She was
watching
awake.
It. She was awake too.
Okay.
Was she awake and watching the movie though?
No. She doesn't.
Interesting.
I don't know. I would honestly watch it again with her. It'd be fine. But
a date night movie? She
doesn't like movies that much.
Oh, okay.
It has to be like the right time. And I was in a movie mood last night. Yeah, crazy, wild. And then I've waited to talk about this one because I didn't want to get yelled at because I was listening to it for months. And that is Friends at the Table Palisade. I finally finished the season. Took like 2 months for me to listen to all of it. Extremely good. It is a sequel to Partisan, so you can't just jump into this one. Partisan you can. Palisade had it took longer for me to click with it too. Part of it was the extremely long prelude, the very long Road 2 game that I was just like not vibing with. They're switching games constantly, and like some of those arcs were super long too. But there's like some all-time banger, like revolutionary stuff in Palisade that like I'm not getting anywhere else. I'm not getting out of any comics I'm reading, any movies I'm reading, any books I'm reading really, and just well informed. It's just good. Very cool. It sucks that I feel like I'm gonna have to wait like 2 years for more of that campaign that they do. And I'm like, but also I think it's going to be a bigger reset next time because I think they're done with all the characters they were playing in those two seasons. So finally finished it though. Probably going to go back and listen to one of the seasons I skipped in the past. Friends at the Table, always something on the mind for me anyway. But so you should listen to it. Everybody should listen to Friends at the Table.
All right.
And with that, that's our day. That's our podcast. So thank you for getting all the way here, and you're welcome for getting a Blind with Justice episode under 2 hours. Congratulations to you. We saved you about 20 minutes here. So thank you for making it here. We appreciate it, and as always,
keep on grappling. Wait.
Did I skip something?
Did you say it? I didn't hear it.
Keep on grappling. Am I supposed to say it?
Well, yeah. Usually the
hosts.
Have I never been saying it when I...
You don't ever say it.
Nah, it can't be right.
You don't ever say it.
That can't be right. No.
If you alley, you don't oop. If you alley, you don't oop. The other person oops.
Okay. Now I'm gonna have to go back and listen to all the episodes. I swear I've.
You just have to scrub to the end, right?
Yeah, but that's still like going through 100 and. Well, at this point,
I listened to the Legacy Superheroes episode the other day because it's out. And did me and Salt actually sync up, or did you fix it?
Oh yeah, you synced up. I never fixed it up.
That one was good.
Never fixed it up.
Because I was wow, we did a really good job that time.
It was actually incredible. Insane. I was surprised.
Oh my gosh, that episode is so good, like front to back. That's crazy.
Yeah, go listen to that episode.
Go listen to that episode, as always.
Keep on grappling.
Oh, keep on grappling.